question on your mind, a few thoughts you wanna unwind. You can ask, you can ask, you can ask, you can ask. Got a couple problems, need help solve. Baby mama or daddy, unnecessary drama now. You can ask, you can ask, you can ask. Just ask Ashley.
Happy Wednesday. What's going on? It's your girl, Ask Ashlee here, of course, with another dope episode of Midday Juice. As you guys are coming in, y'all know I love for y'all to share the video, like the video. I want you to comment. I want you to drop your names, drop some hearts if you loving what I'm saying, drop some angry faces if you say, hell no, I don't disagree with nothing you saying. But let me know that you are here. Shout out to Nathan Ivy and Sin Digital Media. I absolutely love being a part of this platform because it really amplifies the Black voice. So I absolutely am so grateful for Nathan and the Sin Digital Media team for allowing me to have this space. I really do. I'm super excited today because tomorrow is 11/11. It's 11/11, y'all. And if you remember last week, I shared 11/11 is the release date of my new ebook, I Am Who I Say I Am, an affirmative guide to realigning your vision of you. If you guys follow me on social media, you know that I am super big on affirmations. I'm super, super big on affirmations. They are like the start to my day. They get me going. They just really put me in the right mindset that I need to be in for me to be successful, but for me to just spread that love and that light that I look forward to spreading, but to keep me aligned with who it is that I want to become and how I want my day to be. So please make sure that you guys are visiting www.ask-ashlee, that's Ashley with two E's, no Y.com, to go ahead and purchase your copy. Again, it is an ebook, so you don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. As soon as you make your payment, baby, the download is sent to you, and bada bing, bada boom. I hope all of you are having a very happy Wednesday. We are about to get into the topic. I just got to share the show. Y'all know how I do. Okay, so we're about to get into the topic. I don't know how it's like. Everybody always wants to talk about baby daddy, baby mama, co-parenting, type of conversations and relationships, but it is what it is. I love these topics because not only do I get to express what I believe to be true or false, but I also get to learn. I get to learn from you guys. I get to learn different perspectives, different opinions, and I really enjoy the dialogue that takes place when we are live and we are on here. Shout out to Jerome. Hey, baby, thank you so much for being here. Key, what's going on? Yes, ma'am, I am who I say I am. It is coming. It is here. We are less than 24 hours away, so I am super excited about that. Okay, so as you guys are coming in, again, please share the video because not my opinion is the only opinion that matters, but your opinion and others' opinions matter as well. When I get these type of emails or these type of DMs, I'm always telling people, hey, I don't have all the answers. And sometimes people come to me and be like, can you please just put this on the show because I really want to know what people think. So I'm telling you, please make sure that you guys are sharing the video because it is not just my opinion that people are looking for. All right, so let's go ahead and dig deep into this email. Bear with me. Okay? Okay. Dear Ask Ashlee, my children's stepmom and I are close. We actually went to school together many years ago, and when her and my children's father started dating, she had no idea I was his ex. I'm certain of this for multiple reasons. Well, that's good to know. Okay, well, lately she has been acting a little different towards me, and I am wondering if I'm tripping or should I take it personal enough to address it. We haven't gone out together for dinner like usual. Anytime I reach out to her, she either responds super late or she says she has something to do. Last week, one of our daughters had a school play, and she and their father didn't sit with us like they normally do. Now, they did show up a little late, but I felt pretty silly saving them a seat just for them to sit on the opposite side of the auditorium. I value the friendship and the bond with her and with her, and I have been able to because things could be so much worse if one of us or both of us were petty women, but we're not. I asked my children's father if there was an issue, and he told me no, but he wondered why I felt like it was important for us to stay as close as we were anyway. And of course, that turned into an argument. I asked her if we were cool and if I offended her in some way, and she said no, she had just been busy and dealing with a lot. But I'm like, okay, since when aren't you telling me what's going on? It's just weird energy now, and I would like to be able to fix it. Any advice would be appreciated. Weird energy always throws us off, baby. I swear that weird energy be throwing us off. So I got a couple ways that I feel about this. And I'm super glad that one of my good friends is watching today because I actually have never, I've always, okay, so I'll say this. I've always been the baby mama. I have never been the girlfriend that has to deal with the interaction of somebody else's baby mama until now, until the relationship that I'm in now. So this is always, like I said, I love having these conversations because not only am I getting to voice my opinion, but I love to be able to learn from you guys as we are having these conversations and this dialogue. So, with that being said, some of you who have already been in this situation, I would love to hear what you have to say first. Of course, you can call in to 513-873-7134. Hop on the line with me and give me your perspective, or you can just go ahead and drop something right here in the comment section, and I will be more than happy to read it, because I'm always curious to know how people interact with the baby mama. I love to believe that I am not a difficult baby mama. Um, I, when my children's father and I were even in communication with each other, I'd like to believe that I wasn't the difficult baby mama when it came to the people that he would date, right? But people have their opinions. I could have been difficult. I don't know. I personally don't think that I was, but people have their difference of opinions, right? So I think that the first thing, as you guys are going ahead and dropping your comments and speaking y'all piece and letting it be known how y'all feel, I think the first thing that is important when you are dealing with a particular situation. Jerome says, looking good, Ashley. Thank you so much, Jerome. I appreciate that. But when you are dealing with a situation where you are not the primary parent and you're kind of like the third party parent, boundaries, what I am learning is boundaries are super important. Now, what those boundaries look like can be different. They can be different for every relationship, every couple, every interaction, co parenting situation. You have some mothers who really, really want you as the girlfriend, or fathers, you as the boyfriend, to be involved. And then you have some who just want you to just stay in your lane, and your lane is not pertaining to their kid. Right. So I think that learning the boundaries in which your current situation, your personal situation, um, learning those boundaries and respecting what those boundaries are very important. Keep in mind too that I really, 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 hey Brandy, I really, really, really want us to get in the habit of not only understanding why people have boundaries, but respecting those boundaries, because believe it or not, sometimes those boundaries protect us and they protect you. They protect us because we know our mouths. They protect us because we know our anger. They protect us because we know what is our triggers and you don't know that. You know what I mean? So if we are creating certain boundaries, respect those boundaries, because those boundaries are not only just for me, but they're also for you. Case in point, if let me see, Jerome says when people start having kids, they need to grow up. I definitely agree with that, Jerome. I absolutely agree with that. When people start having kids, they absolutely need to grow up. But that is in a perfect world, isn't it? Isn't it? And we don't live in one of those. So the reality is sometimes we got to deal with some ugly mess, or we can choose to walk away from some ugly mess, right? So when I talk about the boundaries, right, I want to bring up something that she said in the email. She said, I asked her if I offended her in some way, and she said no, she's just been busy and dealing with a lot. But I'm like, okay, since when aren't you telling me what's going on? Right now. Right now is when she done telling you about what's going on. That is a boundary that she has created. Respect it. Don't take it so personally as if you've done something wrong, or as if you are the cause from some type of turmoil or unknown chaos that you've created, it legitimately could have nothing to do with you. It is just a boundary that has been created. Because here's the thing, y'all know pillow talk at night with Bay is everything. And during pillow talk, majority of y'all business get told. Okay? Pillow talk causes friction sometimes. And you don't know what was said. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if it has anything to do with you. You don't even know if your children's father has said something to her about how close you all were. Now, one of the things that he said, well, that you said he said, is you said, I asked him if there was a problem, and he said no, but he wondered why I felt like it was so important for us to be as close as we were anyway. That comment, in the event that that comment was said, that comment alone tells me he does not support it. He does not support this buddy buddy system that y'all got. Doesn't necessarily mean he wants y'all at odds, but it may make him feel uncomfortable. It may make him side eye you. It may make him side eye her. Like, what y'all got going on? Blah 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 blah. And in the event that that's the case, it could be a dozen of unknown reasons why he may feel that way. Who knows? But my thing is this: if you know you haven't done anything, you know you haven't been disrespectful, you know you haven't crossed any boundaries, you know you haven't crossed any lines, then baby, this is just a new boundary that's been created, and you're gonna have to respect it. She doesn't want to share everything with you. And if she doesn't really want to be that close as you two were, then that's okay too. As long as your child is being respected, well, his or her well-being is being taken care of, and they are being loved in her care and in their children or your children's father. Because yeah, I'm really working on not saying baby daddy. I'm really, really working on not saying baby daddy in today's segment. But as long as your children are being provided for, taken care of, their well being is being, you know what I mean, nurtured to and catered to, then that is all that should matter to you. You guys don't have to be on the greatest, tightest, closest of terms in order for you all to have a healthy, good co parenting relationship for the benefit of your child. So I'm gonna read this comment because my girl Keith stated this comment earlier and it really hit home for me. She says, I get what you're saying, but your duty as the third party is to support your partner in the parenting and support the children when they are in y'all care, not to be the middle or deeply involved person unless that's an agreement on all levels by both mother and father. But sometimes this won't even work when everyone isn't mature or not over their relationship with the other parent. That's when it becomes messy and the children suffers ultimately. And I want to stick with the part Kevin said the child's father. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying not to say baby daddy in this moment. Okay? Trying really hard not to say baby daddy. But um the part that Lakia had brought up was that your job as a third party is to support your partner and to support your child. And I agree with that. I really, really, really agree with that. And I think it took me to be in the situation in the relationship that I'm in now for me to understand that. Because I always like for me in a perfect world, I always wanted everybody to be cool. I wanted everybody to get along. I wanted everybody to focus on my children. I wanted everybody to treat and love my children the way that I treat and love my children. And in the event that that wasn't happening, it was bothering me, right? But sometimes those lines of support, those even kind of get messy sometimes, right? Because your support can sometimes come off as intervening. Sometimes your support can come off as you whispering sweet nothings in your man's ear or something like that, right? So I just think that sometimes you have to like really be cognizant of who you dealing with and who is all involved in the situation. Jerome says people be into their feelings and sometimes it is not about their kids. This is an absolute fact, Jerome. Okay? This is an absolute fact. Kevin says, never been a baby daddy. My child's mother is one of my best friends, and her new husband is a good friend as well. See, Kevin, I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. Because in a perfect world, I think that's how it should be. Now, I ain't saying your baby mama need to be your best friend, but if she is, that's great. You know, no shade, no shade. But the fact that you all are good friends and the fact that you can be good friends with her husband is absolutely amazing. And I feel like that is the way that it should be. But even within you guys' friendships, I'm sure that there are boundaries that you all have when it comes to each other. I think at the end of the day, as long as the child or children involved are being taken care of and they are being loved and provided for, then that is ultimately the right thing that you want for your child. Like for me, I want someone I would have loved if my child's father got with someone who encouraged him to do more, who encouraged him to be better, and who wanted to love my children the way that she loves her own children, right? Because sometimes when you come across somebody who wants to stay in their lane and they wants to be hands off, then they come off like, you don't even fool with my baby for real. Like I don't really like that. But then you do have to kind of want to wonder those times where somebody may be double dipping or crossing the lines that they ain't got no business crossing. So it really does depend on who is involved in the situation, their maturity level, what the end goal is for them. Are people over their feelings? Have people grown up? Have people, you know what I'm saying, like dealt with the underlying issues of what they have going on collectively and what they have going on individually? Kevin says had to lay that framework up front, facts on everybody's part. And that's the reality. So I'm gonna ask you guys this because I got a couple men that are watching, Kevin and Jerome. Um, whose job, whose job is it to make sure that the third party parent, the step parent, right? Whose job is it to make sure that that person is being respected? Oh, wait. I wish he could play like some Jeopardy music because I'm curious to know what y'all will say about that. Whose job is it to make sure that the third party parent is being respected? Is it the person who has to deal with the other co parent, that father? Or is it the third party person themselves to make sure that they are being respected? Who do you think? Kevin says everybody. It's everybody's job. It is absolutely everybody's job to make sure that that person is respected. Cass, hey baby. Cass says me and my stepson's mom didn't get along at first. Then we were fine once the focus was on the kids instead of feelings. Even though I'm not with the father anymore, I have known my stepson since he was 3. He is now 22. It's always been about the kids, and that should always be first. Cass, baby, I agree with that. It should always be about the babies. It should always be about the babies. It should always be about the babies. But the question still stands: who is responsible for making sure that that third party parent is being respected? Janice says, I believe the ex-husband may still have some negative feelings towards his ex-wife and would prefer that she and his present wife are not discussing him. He does not want her knowing what's going on in his home. And that should be respected as well. That's why I said certain boundaries, like for this particular situation, since she ain't saying she don't want to be cool, she ain't saying that y'all got beef or that there's a problem. She's just saying it's a lot going on right now, and right now she can't cater to your need of having a friend or to your need of wanting a friend. You know what I mean? There are things going on that you have no privy, you know what I'm saying? You're not privy to, and she has to focus on that. She has to realign and focus on that. And the reality is, if there was no man involved, no baby mama, no whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like if this was not a thing and it was just you two as friends, as a friend, you would respect that. As a friend, you would respect the fact that she is saying, like, yo, I just need some time to myself right now. I got a lot going on in my life. And I ain't got time to go out and turn up and drink and go to dinner and eat food and do all this. I just don't have time for it. I mean, as far as like her sitting on the opposite side and, you know what I mean, all those things, could they have not known that you saved them a seat? Yes, they could have not known that. But is it that big of a deal? It's really not. It's a bigger deal because you're making it one. It's a bigger deal because you're making it one, and you have to get out of that habit. Cass says their partner should. It's their choice to make sure that everyone at the table knows his partner's position and where they stand. Okay, so Cass, so you feel like in the event that disrespect occurs or whatever the case may be, that the third party parent should kind of fall to the back, even if that's the parent that was disrespected, the person that was just disrespected, they should fall to the back to the waistline and allow the active parent, the father or the mother, whoever it may be the one to say, you were disrespectful to my mate and you need to apologize, or you were disrespectful to my mate and you're not going to do that. We ain't doing that. This ain't that. That's your stance on it. Let me see. Kevin says third party parent needs to demand respect. Kevin, why you ain't calling in to 513-873-7134? Dang. Kevin says the third party parent needs to demand respect. Child's mother should ensure that the child sees healthy interactions. Child's father needs to show what real men do, which is show up and manage themselves for the sake of their children. I am a fan of Kevin. I'm a fan of Kevin. I'm not saying that the active parent on this co-parenting spectrum should not say you can't disrespect my mate, or we ain't doing that, or whatever the case may be. But if we weren't talking about baby daddies and baby mamas and relationships and all this other little stuff, we were just talking about two individuals, we were talking about coworkers, or we were talking about cousins or friends or whoever the case may be, you as a person would absolutely be like, oh, I demand respect. You may not like me, but you're going to respect me. You may not fool with me, but you're going to respect me. You may not want to talk, but you're going to respect me, because respect matters. So, and you can do that in a healthy manner. It doesn't have to be rah-rah. It ain't got to be ghetto. You ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? And when I say ghetto, I mean like square up. Like you ain't, it don't have to be all of that. It's not the way you demand respect for somebody. You know what I'm saying? But it is important for you to stand your own ground and make sure that respect is earned. You know what I mean? I'll give you a really quick example. Again, I've never been in a relationship where I've even had to deal with another baby mama outside of myself until now. And without naming names, because we know we don't do that. One of the mothers I actually went to and I introduced myself. You know what I mean? And it wasn't negative. It wasn't no rah-rah. It was just like, hey, this is me. I am here. Respect me. Respect me. That's it. This does not have to be no, because the reality is this. If you are dealing with another adult, then that's not going to create a problem. If you are dealing with another adult, that's not going to create beef, because I introduced myself to you and I said, I'm here. This is who I am. I am present. I love your child. Nice to meet you. It is okay for that. I think it is important, not even okay, but I think it is important for that um primary co-parent to say, this is my mate, be respectful. But I also think it's very important for the third party to be like, this is me, please be respectful. Jerome said, what is the call-in number? The call-in number is 513-873-7134. And the time is ticking because the show is almost up. So Jerome, if you calling, baby, go ahead and call in. 513-873-7134. Now, don't get it twisted. I mean, and I would expect that from a woman too. Hey, this is my husband. Or hey, this is the person I'm dating. This is the person that's involved with your child. Be respectful. Because not only do you need to make sure that you respect the position, but our child needs to make sure that you respect that position. Because when you show that you respect that position, it's easier for my child to take lead and also respect that position. Jerome, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to call in, baby, and then I'm going to have to go ahead and get up out of here. I got to skedaddle because I got things to do today. But tell me if I'm wrong, y'all. Let me know. Let me know how y'all feel. One of the other things I wanted to touch on. Oh, wait. There we go. Hey, Jerome.
Let me know how y'all feel. One of the other things I wanted to touch on. Oh, there we
Jerome,
go.
you echoing, baby.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, just mute it. You're getting a little feedback.
Okay.
There you go.
No,
How
I had
you
to come
doing?
off speaker off. Hey, I
That's
just want to
okay.
say one thing.
Yes.
I have 3 baby mamas,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes women will turn your kids against you. And you just, as a man, you got to do what you got to do. But with that being said, I mean, society put all the pressure on men. And sometimes you got to think about these mothers. I got 3 baby mamas. All of them was raised by women. So they didn't have no kings in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, a lot of times we got to look at society and how with the family being messed up, how women raise their daughters when their fathers ain't in the home. Because they teach them that men are no good and it is what it is. And when you a man like me that was raised by both parents, but then all your baby mamas was raised by females that was brokenhearted or whatever they went through. And they raising their kids the same way. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, Jerome, I definitely agree with you on that. I have no discrepancies with that at all. My only thing is, at some point or another, and I'm not talking about you directly. I'm talking about your children's mothers, or just women in general who were raised with that mindset that men are no good, or that men are not needed, or that men are not valued. They have to, at one point or another in their lives, become accountable for their own thoughts. Yes, you get raised a certain way, but eventually you got to be able to think for yourself, right? And if you
But my
can't think,
point is
if you
this,
can't
Ash.
think for, huh?
People believe the way they is raised is the right way.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I love my mother, and my mother did the best that she could while she did it on her own. But there were some things that I disagreed with my mother, and I corrected it for what I believe. No shade to my mother, but for what I believe. And I was one of those women. I was a woman that was raised by her mother. And have, my aunts that I went to, or my grandmother who was the one that was watching me when my mom wasn't. But eventually you have to start to hold yourself accountable for the way that you think. And then, and Jerome, baby, I appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate you being here on the show with me. But everybody has a certain level of accountability. If you have 3 baby mamas and all of those baby mamas have that same storyline, look at what you're attracting. You know what I'm saying? And then that kind of plays into some parts. So everybody has a
But let
certain
me
level
say
of,
this. Let me say this.
yes, sir.
When I got married, me and my wife had no kids.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife loved all my children like they was her own. And tried to respect all the baby mamas. And on
As
that
she
no
should.
ass, I'm out. Love your show. Tell Nate I said hey.
I will. I will. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
I
Bye bye.
don't disagree though. I don't disagree. Cass says he's speaking on facts. Bitter women can raise bitter kids, but it works both ways. And I'm glad you said that, Cass, because it definitely works both ways. It absolutely works both ways. It is not just the moms who can change the narrative of a story. Let's just say that it's not just the moms. Now, moms probably have a more opportunity to do so, because especially if you here in the state of Ohio, as soon as you have a child, mom, you're the primary parent because you're in the state of Ohio. Don't mean whether you a good mom, a good fit, you know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. It don't really matter. You're in the state of Ohio, so you're the primary parent. So it leaves more opportunity for them to be that way. Yes, but that definitely, I'm with you, Cass. Like, that goes both ways. That absolutely goes both ways. So respect people's boundaries, respect that they have those boundaries, and deal with the situation that works best for you. Sis, I really think that you may be trying to create something out of nothing. And the reality is that she ain't your only friend. So go kick it with your other friends. Okay. Y'all don't have to have no falling out. Y'all don't have to have no issues or nothing like that. Y'all didn't have to have no beef or anything like that. The dynamics of y'all relationship just might be changing, and you're gonna have to be okay with that, and you're gonna have to accept that, because ultimately it's not about you, it's not about her, it's about your kids and what's well for them and what's great for them and what's needed for them. All right, y'all, so make sure that y'all are tuned in tomorrow. It is 11/11. So on 11/11, at 11/11, the book is dropping. And I need to make sure that y'all go and head over to www.ask-ashley.com. I love y'all so much. I will see y'all all next week, 1 p.m. every Wednesday, Midday Juice here on Sin Digital Media. I love you guys, and I'm out. Bye.